have you used steroids and what are the side effects?
Never.
No, because you played college football.
I mean, the most I've done is probably like a pre-workout. And
Do you see it? Have you seen it casually, just like in the locker room?
have I seen it? I haven't seen it. I did have a teammate that was using, and so when I got to college, he was already a sophomore. So like the year prior, his freshman year, I saw pictures of before and after, and
Like I should get that.
no, well, I mean, he put 40 pounds on in like in a year. So
That's unheard of.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean, not all muscle, but that's like yeah, a growth spurt at 20 years old. you know.
I feel like it's just I don't know. When I think of that, it's just like he lost some girth, but he had some growth. In my head, it
Yeah.
rhymed. So, but because I figure I don't know when I'm in the comedy scene, it's like or kind of as I grow and I come out, I'm always surprised how casual cocaine is brought up in sentences, like it's a cigarette.
Hmm.
I'm just like, what is this? Is this real?
Yeah, it's common.
It's common. Where do you like heard it every day in life? Just like
Not every day, but it's
okay, no, like on the
it's
weekends.
not like hard to find. I mean,
You
yeah,
know, just one person.
yeah. It's like I know a friend of a friend of a friend. Yeah.
How was that? Kind of going back to football. How was it like? Kind of walking away. How many years of collegiate did you do?
So I did collegiate 3 years.
3 years.
Yes, two at junior college, at one at university level.
And did you have like the expectations of like year three? Like this is probably just gonna be a wrap for it after this. Or,
So no, well, football wise, no, I wasn't done, but academically, yes. But so after right out of high school, I actually went to university. So that was the University of Greeley. I'm sorry, University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado, and first semester was okay. I had a D in a class, and then um, second semester, my the coaches that recruited me got fired.
mm-hmm.
So January comes along, and I meet new coaches, a whole new staff, like people that brought me here left. So I was just like,
That yeah,
and
it's
then
definitely weird being part of like an old system and I feel like you lose your tenure just like off of that.
yeah, yeah. And then I started learning, well, kids at school talk. So I find out like oh yeah, it's kind of normal for this program. We're known for losing. Stuff they don't talk about when they're trying to recruit you.
What's your as you're being recruited? What's like your thought process? I feel like there's a lot of ego going on because you're so valuable and you're getting offers. But are you looking like? Because when I buy something on Amazon, I look for bad reviews and I try to I just see the ratio. Like, do you talk to former buddies that went to that school?
So your question is, did I talk to?
No, it's like kind of. Do you do like? Did you do research on negativity?
No, I did not. No. Honestly, I was just like, I was looking for a freebie. I mean, which scholarships do I have? Realistically, I had a partial scholarship, at home, and then we're in a position to be paying for that. So Northern Colorado was really my first or my only full ride scholarship. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking it.
Was there a hesitancy to go since you were so rooted in just Arizona?
Oh no, I was eager to go. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was kind of I was 18. I was definitely ready to leave. I definitely wanted to go to school, but I was trying to stay in state. To have like that home court advantage, but I also was gonna take whatever was given. So I didn't hesitate. It was.
Is there a jump up going to that collegiate level? Like you notice, like, 'cause I notice. I don't know. I just try to compare with basketball because I'm not too fluent, just like football. I just know when I hear people talk about the bumps up, when you're going. Of course, there's that skill in the guard, but the biggest difference is that instead of your center being 6 foot, it's now 6'5". Instead of 6'5", it's actually 6'10". Instead of 6'10" with a scrawny frame,
Yeah.
this is 6'10", a grown ass man.
Yeah, no, we didn't have no 7 foot guys, but yeah, I mean, I was recruited originally out of high school as a tackle, a right tackle. I did play some right guard, but it's almost a very similar position.
Mm-hmm.
I did not play left, and I was never comfortable. I don't know. It's just like I'm right-handed kind of deal. I'm not gonna write with my left. So that's how that was for me. As far as position, but it's something you're not gonna tell a person that's trying to recruit you. Like, yeah, well, I don't want to go to school because I can't play that position. But so yeah, in high school I think I was a pretty tall size. I was 6'3", 280, 295. And then, you get to college and then your backup tackle's 6'6". So I'm third string, fourth string in there at 6'3". So I was a short tackle, so I quickly was moved right over to guard,
Mm-hmm.
which was, I liked it a lot, honestly, because, your lineman, you got five guys, center, guard, tackle, left side, right side, and then when you're playing a tackle position, you're always on an island by yourself because you have the outside perimeter, so you can't count on interior guys because they got their own, duties and, chain of command type deal. But
Is there were you always fighting for like that first string type of deal, or were you kind of just like education? Let me just get this.
no, I was always fighting to get that position. I was me out of the whole freshman recruiting class. Only me and another kid traveled because we were gonna play. Like, pretty sure we were gonna play. So they redshirted me until that came. If they needed me, really, and there was a position. I mean, I didn't play my first year, but I was always traveling with the team. I was with the team. Like, I'm like worst case scenario. Like, one game we lost one guard. Our backup guard went in. My coach told me, he's like, "Hey, be ready. You're the next guy in line." Like, it's, that's all it was.
I don't know. I figured next guy in line is like, I love you, homie, but I'm trying to get some playing time at the same time. But not that. I don't know. That's a super detrimental way to think about a team. But I don't know. It's bad. I don't know. Always being ready. When did you decide it's time to leave Greeley?
So, second semester comes along, new staff, new everything, and they basically told me, "Hey, you need to get this D up to a C or else you're out of here." And I was like, "Oh shit," like, they're really. And I was out of state, so it's like the cost is a little more. So again, I was out and free and on my own, and I was just partying all the time, man. Wouldn't go to class, wouldn't go to practice. I was just, I don't know, too much was, I felt like giving right up front, Definitely wasn't, like looking back, like, I was looking for anything that was given and didn't appreciate it, and, took it to the ground. I mean, I was just partying a lot,
Do you think there was a time, since you were third year, right? Or
This is my first year right out of high school.
oh, that year. Okay, so you just right off the bat.
Right off the bat went to
Okay.
university level.
Okay, I was thinking, like there was a time you slid into that, like you were a freshman, and so you had to be accountable to someone. I don't know if there was like.
Yeah, there was that. Yes, and I also had mandatory study hall, but I had 10 hours of study hall a week. So basically, for 2.5 hours a day, you go in there, or if you're not trying to do it on the weekends, or piecing out an hour, whatever that math is in 7 days, you got to figure it out. They just want 10 hours. But I mean, they're not like watching you. They're just looking at how many hours are you in, So people would clock in, be on Facebook, YouTube, just social media, not doing
Mhm.
class. Like there wasn't so much of a structure. I mean,
There wasn't a system that was kind of.
being well, yeah, I needed to be held accountable. I mean, uh, me, myself, others took advantage of that because it was just, yeah, I guess the easier way out. I don't know.
How was it your first year out of college? Just kind of like going back to like normal life.
So after
Yeah.
that second semester,
Oh, I thought you said you went to college for like 3 years. Did you?
I did. So all right, I'm sorry. So how did I leave? I still haven't answered your question there. How did I leave University of Colorado? So did a lot of partying, did a lot of drinking, and I actually got a ticket out there. Anyways, I had instead of a D, I had an F. I had a one F and then C's. I think a high D. So they cut me. Like, hey, you're no longer welcome back. That same summer I left, they had gotten a new coaching staff. So I was there for 1 year and they went through two staffs. And I was like, I mean, they were just like, handing these out. I mean, they're, um, so yeah. So when they cut me, I came back home to Phoenix, and I reached out to a recruiter, and he was the biggest recruiter in Arizona. I reached out to him, told him my situation, and he's like, "Well, I expect to see you in a month." So, yeah, I mean, basically had a job lined up.
Did you know, like in the back of your head, since you went D1, right?
Yeah, D1 AA.
Where you're like, I can just for sure go D2, D3, NAIA or NAIA.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, because I mean they're looking at two things: how strong you're at this, how fast you're at this, and then you're getting at least a 2.0 and above, or
Very
2.5,
low bar. Very
a
low
2.5 and above. So that's it. I mean, so yeah, I mean, at Glendale, the recruiter had told me, yeah, we'll see you in a month. Obviously, don't make the same mistakes you did in Colorado and fuck it up here. So
What was
yeah.
what was the scholarship they were offering, or was it kind of just walk on?
So since it was in state, I mean, Glendale Community College is 20 minutes from my parents' house. So they paid for basically, what's the tuition? Just the classes, and
Mm-hmm.
I pay for books. So they took care of 12, 15 credits a semester, and then I took care of the rest. Yeah, because I had to find a way to make money too. So
And that's when you started working. You worked for your dad's business right away.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, as soon as I came back that summer, I had like a week off, and he put me to work right away. Yeah, I was brutal breaking that.
Like full time job from college to full time job so quick.
No, well, just breaking that news to my parents, like, hey, well, I'm not going back next semester. So
Is there? Because I know some people like follow careers and stuff just because out of fear for their parents. Like people are just doing this and like, why do you want to do this? Like, oh, my dad wants me to be an engineer, so I'm an engineer. And like, it's weird as a 23-year-old, you still have like that fear of like, I'm not gonna disappoint him. Like, no. Did you try to like kind of be clutch last second in Colorado to kind of like, I don't want to tell my dad or my mom this.
yeah, I definitely held that for a while until they got the hint. Like, I brought a lot of stuff back with me. Yeah, so I had a truck. I had a truck at the time, and a single cab truck, and
You brought
yeah,
a lot. You
I
just
brought
brought
my whole dorm back. Like, hey, why'd you bring it all back? So
that's a really interesting way to see it, to tell them.
yeah, yeah.
And what were the reactions?
No, I mean, I told them separately because it was just easier. I went the easier way first. Told my mom first. Yeah, we went out for breakfast. yeah, and just kind of broke the news to her, and yeah, she was upset, but also kind of happy I'm coming back home. So yeah, it was bittersweet, but I did tell her I had a plan, you know, kind of going forward, and I wasn't just gonna not do nothing, basically. Yeah, I mean, I was upset. I mean, but I really wasn't mad at anyone or anything. It was more like I had could have steered the ship the other way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then graduate from there. I don't know. Be recruited NFL. Who knows? I don't know.
Do you
Yeah,
think about that, like the what if
absolutely,
situations?
absolutely.
How much is it kind of like, well, I needed that, or it's just like, I could only imagine because when you D1's, it's damn near impossible to get to D1. Like people think like going to the NBA, but as like high school, it's like, well, like I think college is like going to be a big obstacle because if you're not like a star in your area, like just in your little town, it's like you're definitely not like on the radar. What do you think of like? It's like, well, I wouldn't have the lifestyle I have now, or I just like it could have been so much different. I don't know. I don't know. I just try to think like, what? How do you think of it without being toxic? Thinking of like,
Oh man. No, the what if situation, like, yeah, I mean, because I was like, man, 3 more years of this, like physically, that's one thing. Because I mean, they did take care of you. They had team doctors. I mean, so it was like almost like an insurance plan there. They fix you up. I was feeling sick, and they take care of me. But uh, the what if, it's just, I don't know. The what if for me is like graduate. Like, would I really? I don't know if I would have graduated or not. I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
I think in every like what if situation, it's just I wish I would have been more disciplined because
yeah,
there's like the physical part of the game, but then there's also just like the IQ part of the game. That's at least I think I lacked as a youth. I'm not sure if you were a high IQ player or it's just kind of like I'm just pushing this guy.
but yeah, yeah, I was. I mean, playbook wise, school. I mean, yeah. To me, again, I'm like, I just got to get a C. So I just got to put that C effort. And I know, I'm like, man, if I would have just put that same amount of effort in some choices, this wouldn't be a what if. But I just knew I couldn't repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I couldn't repeat it. So when I came back um, to Glendale Community College, I did my time, did my work, actually put in some work in classes, used, stop partying, slow down, it was really just too easy even to get alcohol. I mean, I'm 18 by now, so just I definitely wish I would have gone like a JUCO route for sure, because that transition is, I think, more realistic.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a different grind. I don't know if you've seen this one documentary on Netflix. It's they kind of talk about the grind of JUCO, and there's like it's just these people like trying to just get on the radar or something like that degree. I haven't watched it. That's just like the commercial. I was like, wow, that's like. At least all my like, collegiate athlete friends are like, it's really like that. It's like really a grind going to those JUCOs. It's kind of like the D League or the G League for college.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, because they still play at a high level. I mean, they'll play D1 AA schools, D1 school or D2 schools for sure.
just get smashed by 60 points and then nice job.
Pretty much.
What is what did you go to school for?
So I was a communications major. Wanted to go for criminal justice originally. That was actually what I wanted to do.
It seems like you can't be that lazy with academics and be like criminal justice, or can you?
No, I mean,
I just think of like lawyer. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
yeah, I don't know what area. I just knew, like, having that mystery side to it.
Like Scooby Doo a lot.
Yeah, magnifying glass, everything. Like I wanted it all.
I got a trench coat from Sherlock Holmes for Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I did police work. I did ride-alongs. I did 100 hours and all that. But you know, just different. I don't know.
You pivoted into like more like carpenter esque work, or what do you say?
Yeah.
Carpenter? Yeah. So what was that from wanting to be in criminal justice, but then it's just like taking your dad's business was maybe just an easier route at that time? Just
Mm.
so what were you thinking?
So at that point, it just became about money. I'm like, what, what are cops making? What are detectives making? What, and then I was looking at, just what are we getting paid and what's a GC making, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to chase that route. I mean, it was just I don't know, books and me just we didn't ride together. So
No. I could definitely see like as an adult, I don't know, there just becomes urgency to do full time work
yeah,
unless you have like a super like you know I don't know just laid out lifestyle. Talking like you're just getting a job because your dad has a job at the corporate office or something type of thing. It's like, yeah, dad, let me take the Lambo. um,
no, I never took advantage of that. I mean, I think I started taking more advantage of that when I have to take a kid to school, or I gotta leave. He has a dentist appointment. But no, never like I'm at Starbucks or nothing like that. No, I did take that serious.
do you still think about, because I know now you're in the process of just starting your own business this past month.
Mm.
Do you think of other, just like other like fields, or is it just like, well, this is it for sure?
No, yeah, definitely. I was mentioning to my brother like wanting to do HVAC. You know, get our hands in kind of everything. Yeah, because making one, expanding our sources of income essentially.
I just think of also like a skill set and how useful it is for networking, just the type of deal. Because kind of like as like I feel like in comedy, like if you're a comic, that's cool, but it's a lot easier to meet people if you also take video because you can shoot clips for some people. If you also take photos because you can do headshots for people, and people will be like once you're around more, and that'll give you maybe the opportunity to do more stand up. So it's just like you take one job, and then that job introduces you to another job, and another job, and another job, but they're all in like four different fields.
Mm.
But I'm not sure if that's like stretching yourself too thin when it comes to like what you do.
Um, no.
No, is it? Okay, I don't know. Like I don't know if it's easier to just do like expenses wise, buying all the material to do like four different types of jobs, or I don't know, expect.
Well, I feel like at that point, I'm hoping to have, it wouldn't be just a one man show, but
What do you think of like how far do you think of the operations?
how far?
Like kind of like in like kind of thinking in the grand scheme, like after this is just me and my brother right now. In the next year or two, hire some workers, and then maybe buy an office building. Those types of like images.
Okay, so we do have shops that are going to be made, and that'll be our inventory, our warehouse, or supplies, anything. And my brother has a quarter acre. It's not it's not a lot, but it's enough to get any kind of machinery we're gonna need back there for sure. And he's got a good lot. And yeah, I mean, like I just want to be pulling in at least 100K, at some point, and then I know realistically first year no, but because once we do that, you know, like I don't know, I think that's like my 5 year goal. By within our 5th year in business, I'd like to be there.
Do As far as like bigger picture, do you hope to like pass this down to one of your kids?
No, no. Um, I want them to have their own way of thinking. I want them to do whatever makes them. I definitely would not force it upon them. I mean, yeah, I'll ask for help, but I'm not saying like you got to do this when you're older. No, absolutely not. No.
I could see that. It was like, I want to get a job at Best Buy. Just work for me. Come on, what are you doing?
Again, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I definitely want them to be making that decision on their own. I definitely don't want it. If they ask me on it, yeah, I'll be honest with them. Yeah, but like yeah, like if I'm working in the garage, I'm like, hey, no, do you want to help me do this, this, and this? And he says no, I'm not gonna take it to heart. Like, oh, okay,
It's gonna be a pretty cool birdhouse there, but you're missing out.
right. But as soon as like, hey, you want to play golf? And golf balls off the front yard. Yeah.
Are you surprised what he is interested in?
Um, I'm more surprised of what he is interested in. Like, I never thought he'd like anime.
He does.
Yeah, and he likes it a lot. I mean, he's watched different series because we share accounts. So I'm like, I see, like, what are all these cartoons? And that was a big shock to me. I didn't think he would like that.
It's very hype. It's very. As an athlete, it's like if you watch anime, it's just like your mentality. It's just like I can do anything. But
Really.
no, yeah, I mean it's just that because every lifter that watches Dragon Ball Z, their goal is to be as strong as Goku.
Right.
They have that physique because his motto is like I never stop training. I never stop training. So it like puts in that thing of like a cartoon superhero mindset because you go through the emotions of like you see it's like a very cookie cutter story. It's just like wow, this person's best friend dies and he pulls up the strength to beat the unimaginable foe. Versus maybe just a dry American cartoon where it's just like this is wacky ducky. So it's just more. Yeah, I guess they like trust their viewers to kind of be more emotional.
Yeah.
Then there's like tentacle porn, so then there's two edges to everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think, well, I mean, I was surprised, but then I was like, well, he is in karate. The shows he's watching are karate, so I was like, okay, get this. But I was like, do you understand the plot of these? Like, what revenge is, like, what they're after. So I started looking at it from a different angles. I'm like, I want to know the drama on this.
It's just MMA fights for kids. That's all it is.
I want to see this through. Play the next episode.
So I get hyped. It's always fun getting hyped on like a kid show.
Yeah,
It's like,
all there.
just sitting down. It's like we had to go. Just end up being 35 minutes late because you just had to finish it. Well, all right, we'll kind of wrap this, man. How's it feel being like a dad of 2 kids? How does that feel? Because you're fresh, in the past decade,
Yeah.
Fresh.
It feels good. I mean, I think I feel like they had the easy route. They're both boys, but I mean, it's a lot of energy in that house. I mean, like if Noah is trying to argue with me, like, I get down to his level. Like I'll get down to 8.
I'll punch him in my knees.
No, well, like, I forget what he asked me, but like, he's like, well, oranges are the color orange and they're called oranges. How come bananas aren't called yellows? I'm like, you gotta ask the guy who invented the oranges. What do you mean invented? I'm like, look, somehow this got a name, someone used that, you're asking, I'm not your guy.
I like how you're leading him to do his own research.
Yeah, like, I don't want to tell him I don't know, because I don't want to end that conversation. I want to see how far I can tag him along it, like, and then just release it.
That's funny. Sometimes I'll tell my nieces, like, I'm actually 9 years old, because they, like, never seen a 9-year-old before. So it's just like, let's say they hit me up like a few months, you're not 9. I'm like, that's true. That is factual. But, I am a leprechaun. And then just continue it from there. How was it having a second kid?
Nico's fun. Yeah. Noah was super easy kind of growing up. He was homebody type. Uh, he never was caused any mayhem or anything like that. I think he's been spanked once. But
Spanked a 1-year-old?
no, Noah.
Oh, okay.
And then Nico, on the other hand, he's our he's our Tasmanian devil, and little circles everywhere. You got to be on alert. He's that kid at Home Depot that climbs, the scaffolding. But
Jumped as a backflip.
yeah, but even then, I get down to a 2-year-old. So this man, like, I'll tell him, like, he unrolled the toilet paper roll, and I'm like, no, pick it up. I'll pick it up. I'm gonna roll it back in, and you hold it. So he understood all that. He picked it up, but then I go and put it back where it goes, and then he's like just talking to me. He's trying to say these words.
This is a game he wants to play, maybe. I don't know.
I was like, and then so we're arguing. I'm like, it goes here, and then I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to roll it. I'm like, use your words. He's too Jeff. He doesn't have words. So I'm just mimicking his sounds. I mean, yeah, exactly. So he says, yeah. I'm like, well, yeah.
I love it. Alright, say YouTube is still up in like 10 years. Kids watch this. What do you want to say?
Well, in 10 years, Noah's going to be graduating high school. So I want to say congratulations. And then, if you decide to go to school, make it a good one. 2.5 and above. And for Nico, he's going to be 12. I guess by 12, definitely be wearing a condom.
So I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing surprises me anymore, man.
Cap it off. What do you want to say to your boo thing?
Ooh, in 10 years, one kid down, one kid to go, and then, yeah, then till death do us part.
Fade to black.